Welcome, gamers, to this week's episode of Last Call Gaming. We're on episode number 45. My name is Craig Perales. I'm the man with the quarantine bedhead. It's Mandrew Montemayor.
I forget what it means, but I hear him say it all the time. And Yakuza, Moshi Moshi.
Moshi. Andrew, how are you doing today? I don't think I've ever just stopped in a while and just seen how your day's been.
I haven't done anything at all today. I don't think I got up to like 1. I went to Sam's Club. I got my In-N-Out lemonade that is now half vodka.
Ooh.
How's your day?
What do you got in there? Tito's?
Yeah, always.
I slept in pretty late myself. What did I watch? I just been watching a lot of Seinfeld reruns, and then finally realized that, we got to get this fucking thing recorded and edited today because it's just been pushed back day by day. 95% my fault. So,
Oh.
Well, the fact that you don't come over and force me to do it anymore is 5% your fault.
I don't want to hear it anymore.
So, guys, we're here to talk about a few things, and one of the big ones that we're going to talk about there are two big games that everyone was looking forward to. One maybe a little more than the other one was Last of Us Part 2 and then Ghost of Tsushima. These are both PlayStation Sony games, and they got pushed back, and they now have hard dates. Last of Us 2 is now officially going to be released on June 19th, 2020. Ghost of Tsushima is now going to be released on July 17th, 2020. That is the game that's coming out from Naughty Dogs, the other game coming out from Sucker Punch Productions. Now, the dates are fine and dandy. They were originally going to be May 29th and June 26th. So far, they've only been pushed back a month. What we're really here to talk about is kind of why they were pushed back, what happened with that, and some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. Now, Andrew, you sent me a nice little article about kind of some of the back-end stuff, what was going on. So what do you want to dive into, or is there anything else you want to add on that before we dive into what was actually happening with the pushbacks?
Well, there's a couple different things from who knows what's going on with it, first of all, because I mean, again, a lot of it's all stemming from COVID. They announced on April 2nd that they were indefinitely delaying.
Right. That's what scared everybody. We're like, oh shit.
Yeah, so what they announced that they didn't have any other future timeline. So pretty much right away now they're like, okay, never mind, here's the new release date. So the messaging's been really weird. And I wonder if it's because since then there's actually been a bunch of leaked plot lines and leaked footage of The Last of Us 2 online. I mean, if you look at Last of Us spoilers, you can find it anywhere. Originally, what I had sent to you was that they thought that it was kind of like a rogue employee that had gotten pissed, but Sony has actually come out and they found the people who did get this information, and it wasn't anyone who was actually working on the game, I don't think. They got a hold of an old build, and they were able to get into, I guess, whatever it is they store all that stuff on from that old build, and that's how they got all that information and sent all that stuff back out. So I wonder if that's more why they're pushing now. They're like, okay, we have to get this game out now because now, everything. I haven't looked at it, so I don't know exactly what's out there. I have seen that it's pretty substantial information and that it's pretty much like the whole game. But again, yeah. I haven't read it because I didn't want to spoil myself.
Yeah, I did pretty well on avoiding all of that because I don't want that game ruined in any way. But do you think there's any truth to the part of that? I mean, they said that it wasn't an employee from either Sony or Naughty Dogs, but one of those big articles that I was reading was they were saying how these guys were getting they weren't going to be getting their bonuses, their 6-month bonuses, if the game gets pushed back indefinitely, and this is going to give even more troubling times to these guys that are waiting on money like that with COVID going on. And if they're not getting their money, if the game's not releasing in May when it was supposed to come out, and it got pushed back indefinitely, then they're not getting their money. And some of the rumors were that they were releasing these things so that it forces the hand of Naughty Dogs and Sony to push the game out sooner, so they are guaranteed their checks by the end of the year or the beginning of next year.
Right, that was the rumors that their stuff is based on sales.
Is there any truth to that at all?
I think they came out and they said that it wasn't. I know that was the initial thing. I think like even Drayson Schreier had jumped on and it's like, no, that's not true at all. I mean, it really could have been anybody. So I mean, I don't. That sounds like something that could possibly happen. But again, since then they haven't named the people who've come out and who did do that. Right. So I mean, it could be 2 random people, or it could be 2 employees who were. I mean, that was the story because that is what it's based on. So if the game's not going to ship till December, then they're not looking at their sales bonuses, everything they've been planning their hard work and life on. Because what the story was that and again, this may or may not be true, so take it with a grain of salt, is that they had approached the higher up saying, can we get our bonuses early? You already know this game is going to sell mad money. Can we get a portion of something to make up for what we're going through right now since it's delayed indefinitely? And they pretty much said no, is what it was. Like, oh, even though I guess there was another thing coming out that's saying, like, I guess like Neil Druckmann has already got his bonus already.
Yeah, he got his.
And so I mean, it could go either way. I don't want to jump on a wagon until like everything comes out. So I mean, either way, I think the leaked footage is definitely pushing them to release this game sooner now.
See, I'm just looking at it going like, okay, so The Last of Us 2 has all these leaks and all this, all this kind of weird, controversy going around with it. But what was, Ghost of Tsushima? Because if on one scale it's these guys having issues with all these leaks and release footage. Did any of that really happen to the same scale of Ghost of Tsushima? I mean, they were pushed back just the same.
I think that they're just keep getting pushed back because they've been pushed back before, I believe, and it wasn't by much. That they just keep getting batted around, unfortunately, because they're coming around the same time as The Last of Us 2. And if I was them, I don't know if there's maybe a better internal monologue or something. I'd be pissed if I'm a company working on this game that I believe in, and I'm just getting thrown around because, there is another product that arguably is going to be, everyone thinks is going to be better based off of their track record and what they do is going to be better, but you don't know that. But either way, to treat somebody else like second fiddle and just, all right, hey, we got to push them. They're more important. Sorry, you got to go back further now. But who knows? Maybe they needed the time to button up the game a little bit more. Maybe they're happy for something like that.
Right.
I don't know what the internal conversation is or something like that.
Yeah, and I can't see any studio, especially this close to their release date, going, hey, we got an extra month to polish and prep and all that stuff. Because, I don't mind if a game gets pushed back a month or so, or, if that's really what it needs. And everything that Naughty Dogs keeps saying is that, we needed this to make this game exactly what it's going to be. And don't try to, don't spoil it for yourself by looking up any of these reveals, because this is going to be an experience of a lifetime when you finally get your hands on it to play. And, I mean, what's June 19th? I mean, we're in backlog season right now, so a few more months waiting on and then in July you have Ghost. I mean, you got two great games coming. Might as well finish what we're doing. And I mean, essentially, no harm, no foul so far. At least on our, the consumers end. It would suck though if there was any kind of note that these guys aren't getting their pay, and then it took a whole bunch of releases and leaks to get these guys their bonus checks. If that is the case.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, if that's something that comes out down the road later on, I'm sure that would definitely hurt their image, especially when they're already kind of on that bad image with like that last story that they had about the crunch culture and whatever like that. But I mean, who knows? And I mean, we'll just have to see. But yeah, right now, I mean, it sucks because there is nothing else going on, but it is, it is, like you said, backlog season. So that's what I'm cruising through. So
what game between the two are you looking forward to more?
Probably.
You look like a Ghost man.
Ghost of Tsushima, I think, looks a lot cooler.
That's what I thought for you.
But The Last of Us 2, I mean, I still haven't finished one. I'm like halfway through it, maybe, I think, and I haven't been over to your house to play it since, obviously. I mean,
I have loaded in my PS4.
I think those are probably going to be the two most anticipated games of the year, though. So
yeah, I can see those easily being on almost probably anybody's top 5. Easily the top 10, but probably most people's top 5 for 2020.
Yeah, I mean, one of them's already a potential game of the year, and then the other one's coming off of that heat that was Spider-Man. So
yeah, so I thought
Insomniac. Oh wait, never mind. Spider-Man. I don't know what I'm thinking of. That's not Sucker Punch. I didn't mean to say Spider-Man, but go on.
So guys, we actually have 2 hard dates now. If anyone was scared that those games were going to be stuck indefinitely, or maybe nervous that it was going to be, mid next year, they did kind of, rebound that, and it's coming June 19th, 2020 for Last of Us Part 2, and July 17th, 2020 for Ghost of Tsushima. So if those were games that you were looking forward to, keep looking forward to them because they are coming, and it's just now it's a few months away. So be prepared for that, and go grab yourself a PS4 if you don't, so that you can play it. Anything else you want to add on that?
No, either way, I mean, can't wait to play either of them.
Yeah, they're going to be tasty treats. But the bigger news that we want to get into is we knew when a new Assassin's Creed was coming, right? Once they did Origins and then the huge success that Odyssey had, it was a matter of time before the next Assassin's Creed was coming. And it finally is. Their trailer came out 3 or 4 days ago.
Well, actually, before you get into that,
sure. What's up?
I do want to say, so I watched the original thing. They didn't start with the trailer. The trailer didn't come till Friday. That Thursday, they just had some. They're saying, "Oh, we're gonna do a reveal," and so a lot of people are watching the stream of this guy paint Bob Ross style, which I mean, it's cool and it's
Oh, what the
interesting
fuck's
to
his
see.
name? No, he's a big name.
I didn't know.
I forget his name, but yeah, he was a big guy that everyone was watching. Keep going.
But yeah, either way, they did that first. And I've seen a lot of people pissed off that they didn't actually show anything or reveal the trailer right then and there. I think that's what they should have done if they made people watch that stream for that long, is once he was finished with the painting, then roll the trailer or something like that. But either way, just wanted to throw that out there. That was their original thing.
I hate to, maybe we can look it up in the article and get a chance to say his name, because he's a big player in the game. And but it'd be kind of odd though to do the trailer off of his YouTube account and not through Ubisoft's, which is what the actual reveal was from. But so this is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Now, if you've been following the Assassin's Creed and wondering what the next one was going to be, the rumor was that it was going to be Norse mythology. And I don't know if it was the code name back then, or if what we were just calling it was Assassin's Creed Ragnarok. But yeah, this is now official that it is set in. Let's see, you're going to play, and I know there's two different characters, but what they showed off was the guy. I believe his name's Ivor. You're going to be a Viking raider during England's Dark Ages, where you're going to be able to raid enemies, grow your settlement, and build political power. Now, this is taking place in 873 AD. So there we have to look at what time frame this is going to be and what we're kind of delving into. Now, some people loved what they saw when it came out. We were looking at about a 3-minute and 45 cinematic trailer.
I did.
Others like me, I like what I saw, but it wasn't what I wanted. So the trailer is all cinematic in scale, right? There's nothing in the gameplay. Now, if you're going to reveal it, that's fine. If you're going to show us what the background is going to be. But if this game, because what they're saying is the game releases in late Q4 for 2020. So this game's supposed to be coming out at the end of the year. And I just don't know if the first trailer I would do would be all cinematic in scope. But we were talking how Xbox has their Xbox Live in a couple days. They're supposed to be showing some actual gameplay. So standalone gameplay mechanics or not, I mean, the trailer, I know you loved it. What stood out to you for it?
I think to note first is that we have different, obviously different opinions of it. Craig Moore, he already knows what the Norse mythology is going to be like. He's a big fan of that sort of stuff. So he just wanted to see gameplay. I already know what the gameplay is going to be like. We all do. I personally am not a fan of Norse mythology. I could care less for Vikings. I think that they're boring. But watching this and just the aesthetics that they put in there, just how it looked, the feeling of it, the tone of it, I am absolutely loving it now. Now I'm a believer. Before I was like, oh, this one's going to be stupid. Like, I don't even want to play this. And I do want to note, too, and actually something that I'm also excited for, is that this game is actually made by the team that did Black Flag and Assassin's Creed Origins, the Egyptian one, which are both, I love both those games, too. So.
Which is Ubisoft Montreal, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, okay, then I guess I'm confused then. How, out of all the things you've ever seen on TV or anything with Vikings, what did that trailer do that made Vikings any cooler than anything else you've seen? It didn't show any.
I don't watch anything with Vikings because I always thought it was boring and fucking stupid.
What about that
trailer? And I sat and watched this trailer and I was like, okay, never mind. Maybe I kind of get what this is. Like, it's just a lot cooler.
And I got to disagree, too. I don't think we all know what the gameplay is going to be. How big of a jump was it from the last Assassin's Creed to Assassin's Creed Origins, which completely changed the game mechanics, and then Origins to Odyssey.
Origins to Odyssey wasn't that big, though.
It completely changed the way you were doing your missions and how you were building up certain aspects. And I guess I'm saying, it's not leaps and bounds, but how, maybe Valhalla has something that's completely new and different and that's going to separate it. Because I don't want Odyssey reskinned as Norse mythology. I want to know what makes this game stand out, and that's what I want to see. Not just going a cutscene of him stabbing a guy in the knee, and then that guy still being able to walk around like it was no big fucking deal. I was just like, okay, it's a cool trailer, but I want to see game mechanics, and I think I'm probably in the minority here of thinking the trailer was, I don't know, not what I would have shown as an opening reveal, and not exactly, but it didn't show me. It didn't make me more excited or less excited. But obviously, if you aren't a fan of Norse mythology, it changed your mind. I know Cien loved it.
Yeah, see, I'm more of like, I need the proof of concept first, as far as like how the world's gonna look and feel, and then show me the gameplay and break everything down. Because
why couldn't we have done a video that then transpired into game mechanics and then kept going?
Why couldn't that thing just Craig? That's just not the way it works.
How many gameplay trailers, or how many trailers can we see that go from cutscene to gameplay, or at least half an hour. That thing was almost 4 minutes, and it was just
Yeah, they could have showed something, but again, maybe they're saving it again for that Xbox Digital event that's next week this week on the 7th. They did put out a lot of information about it though. That like you were saying, for some of their changes, there's RPG dialogue in there now, which the last one's kind of had something like that, but this one said it's going to have a lot longer term lasting effects as far as like who your friends are, who your enemies are down the line.
I love.
Combat's more visceral. There's another skill tree, but they said that it's supposed to be more unique than I guess what the last one is, whatever that means. So
Yeah, again, the trailer looked cool. It just didn't do anything more for me or less for me than to temper my excitement at all.
I could see that. I was about it though because again, I wasn't a believer. So maybe that trailer is for someone like me who was like, I can give a shit less.
And I don't think we knew that, or maybe we did, that the Xbox, Inside Xbox was, because I believe what we were saying, they're going to show off Assassin's Creed stuff. So I think at the time of watching that, I don't know if I was aware, or maybe you weren't aware, that was coming in a couple days. So
no,
if
I think
was
they announced
they're
that
kind of balancing it, like they just teed it off with this cool trailer, and then come Inside Xbox, we're actually going to dive into it and talk to developers and see how the game moves. Then perfect, because that's less than a week. Because my big thing is if this game's coming out in less than 8 months, then we need to have more by May of what this game's gonna be, look like, feel like, and because I don't think we even knew there was gonna be a female character until the day after, when people started voicing their outrage that it's just another guy character, and then they were quick with that one, saying no, there'll be a girl,
like you could be a guy or a girl,
tattoos and all that kind of stuff. So
does look really cool too. What was kind of weird is like that name Ivor. Like if you look up, like I was reading online, like if you look up like traditional like Viking lore, Norse, whatever the fuck it is you want to call it, like that is a traditionally female name. So I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. I figured they would give a different name for the guy or the girl, but either way, I could take either or. I think I really just hope that they don't try to do like the whole bigger is better thing. Like I felt like Odyssey was like the perfect size, even though there were some areas that I didn't even fucking venture off to because there wasn't really any reason to. I hope they don't, again, especially coming off of something like The Witcher, like I didn't visit a majority of that fucking map because I didn't have to. There was no reason to go there unless that's what I'm trying to do is just get lost in this world and do every little thing it has to see. Like, I felt like Odyssey was pretty much the perfect size. It wasn't too much. There was a few places I didn't visit that I guess I could have gone and done had I wanted to, but I had visited about 85% of that map. So, to take or leave 15%, I could deal with that.
Yeah, I thought Odyssey was probably the perfect size, and yeah, you're right. That this game doesn't need to be any bigger than it has to be, unless they've got something in mind and in scope that fits it and makes it worthy of it. I do want to point out though, because you're the one that said this to me, they're taking full advantage of the smart delivery. So
yeah,
with that being said, explain a little bit of what smart delivery is, and then how you decide you're going to play it.
The smart delivery, what that is, we had talked about that before, is just Xbox's thing, and it's. To note too, PlayStation hasn't said anything about it. I'm sure that they're going to. They probably should have said something by now. But if I were to purchase this game for Xbox on my One X, whatever it is that I'm playing it on now, when the Series X comes out, if I switch to that, I can carry over that game and not have to pay for it. So I'm not gonna have to pay for it twice. It's not like I think last console generation. I think you had to pay like $20 or $10 or something like that. You got to switch whatever, something like that. I think that was only with physical. I don't think it was with digital. So this being digital, and it depends on really how close that game is to it. Because if it's, I'm hoping it's really close to the release date. Because I would like to just play it day and date on the Series X, and I could wait like a week or so. But if it's like a month away, then I'll probably just end up knocking it out.
Yeah, I think at this point we'd have to get it day one, and it's cool because this is probably the first big third-party game that's going to be taking advantage of the smart delivery. Buying it on one, not paying twice, because that's something that gamers have been wanting. Nobody likes to rebuy the same game, play on a second piece of hardware.
Project Red's riding that lightning too, as far as the smart delivery. Yeah,
and I believe this Inside Xbox that's happening on Thursday is going to show a lot of the third-party games that are going to be taking advantage of smart delivery. So hopefully we get at least see a few more titles that are coming out that take advantage of this, because that's going to be really cool. Because this game, again, if it comes out towards the end of the year, and Phil Spencer saying that there's no hurdle yet that they're seeing that they're going to want to delay their the release of the Series X, then yeah, this thing might come out if it's a month or so before the system, then I mean, yeah, I might get it day one, but I would like it if they could pair it closer to the release date to make it as close as a release date with the system coming out.
Yeah, that would be nice. Now, there's a question that I wanted to pose for you too, and because
Posing a
it's,
question?
huh?
I said you got to pose a question.
Yeah. Um, with how far they've come with these games, I don't think that it's really come to a point where each one's. I don't feel anything's really been tied down too badly yet to past ones to where it's kind of holding them back. Do you think that at some point they should just drop the like modern shtick and make it like Assassin's Creed, make it like how Final Fantasy is, to where each one is its own thing with its own timeline, with its own weird shit or whatever, and some of them kind of correlate with whatever, but there's no more. Oh, we got to link back to the future, because that's arguably the worst part of the game for me. As much as I loved AC Odyssey, I don't care for any of the future stuff at all. I just want to play the person, their life in this timeline, and then I go from there. And then it's cool when I play the next one. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This person's related to Bayek, or that person knew Bayek, or they mentioned Bayek, or something like that. But I don't need it to be like, oh, I'm this one fucking bloodline flowing throughout whatever. You know what I mean?
I know what you
I
mean.
wonder if at a point they're going to come to it where it's like, fuck, we have so much wrapped up into this now, to where it's like really limiting to what we can do with the game. Do you think they would benefit from just, I don't want to say to reboot it or anything like that, but especially with how much they've changed the gameplay of it, it's way different than the original Assassin's Creeds. Should that be something that they do? Is just like, okay, now each game is just whatever in this timeline, you play it for what it is, and what obviously it's based on fiction, and each one's, I don't want to say like Final Fantasy because it's all in one timeline, but each game doesn't have to be related to the last one.
Right. I'm with you, because I think the futuristic stuff's kind of the most boringest part, and most time you just want to jump back in. But I think if you do that, it takes away what the whole concept of the Assassin's Creed theme is. It's the way we get to play all these different timelines is because it's all about this future of and I don't know how you would do it though, because everyone's after the Animus, everyone's after these artifacts and all these things, and
I don't even know what's happening.
Yeah, they keep moving forward to go back in the past to try to change these events or at least follow these things. I'm with you. I think it should. I just don't know how they would, because every game that you play with them is so like engrossed in this whole, I've got to get in the Animus, and I'm on the run from the Templars in modern day, and then I have to go in and try to find these clues and artifacts and stuff like that. So that is kind of the heart of what Assassin's Creed is. But I think what they've done is they've streamlined it. I mean, look at Assassin's Creed like 1, 2, and 3 when Desmond was like a big part of these stories that you had to play.
I think that's when that actually
almost overlap that. You can almost just, right when you get out of the Animus, you can just jump right back in and kind of skip it. So I think they've done a good job of making it the least part of the playable game. But I don't know if you can get rid of it entirely, because at that point you're just playing a game. Then don't call it Assassin's Creed. Just call it a game that has the same mechanics and put it in a time frame and make a new saga. I think you have to keep something like that in it to make it fit.
I think that kind of modern timeline plot point like died with Desmond, because I actually liked it up until he died. Spoilers for anyone who didn't play that long ago. Yeah. But after that, I was like, oh, I'm kind of out with whatever the fuck's going. It's so far out there that I'm just like, ah.
Yeah, and I don't think it's that big of a thing anymore. Like when you played the last one, I think it's the girl that keeps going into the Animus to play it. Like,
yeah, but now she can like alter time or something like that. Now I'm like, well, how the fuck does that work? And no one else figured that now but you. But you also created this new thing. I don't fucking know. So
well, because at the end, usually they all end with these big conversations with this old, species of like these godlike beings. I think they could essentially wrap that up, and maybe a reboot would be the right thing to do. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you would stray away from it, because I get lost when it gets into these celestial beings talking about all this shit. I'm like, well, fuck, I'm already playing 20 games of Assassin's Creed. Like, when does this end? Like,
yeah, no, that's, yeah, I understand.
So
no,
I would like to end, but I just don't know how you can, because I don't think we've gotten any closer to tying up loose ends with the last few games.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is each one is just more and more and more that I'm just like, well, when's this going to end? It's
yeah. Because I don't want it to. You want to keep playing these awesome games and these big timepieces. And the Norse
mythology, that's what I said, maybe find a way to get them untethered from all that, and then you can just make whatever in a timeline, and people know that assassins are what the fuck ever, you know what I mean? But there's no future shit. You're just playing it as they come along.
Right. Anything else you want to throw on top of that? I mean, we're going to have a lot. I'm sure our next episode is going to be hugely based on Assassin's Creed. Valhalla, since we're actually going to start seeing more gameplay. So I don't want to get too much into speculation if we're going to have an answer in about 4 days, 5 days.
Yeah, yeah, no. Either way, I'm excited for it. I think it looks good, but I'm excited to see more. So
Yeah, definitely. So, guys, go check that trailer out. Like I said, it's about almost 4 minutes. It's 3 minutes, 45 seconds or so. You can already pre-order it. They've already got some pre-order stuff where you can get it right now with like an extra mission and stuff like that. So, go check it out. It looks. Did you like the concept that, or the fact that his hidden blade is now on top of his bracer versus underneath the forearm?
oh, you know what? It didn't occur to me that it was on top until he said something. But I thought that part was cool because I was like, oh, cool. I wonder what's gonna happen. And then when the dude got it, I was like, okay, he killed him. How'd he kill him? And then I was like, oh, that's fucking cool or whatever. But it didn't occur to me now that yeah, that's on top.
Yeah, I was talking with my buddy Casey, and I was just like, well, yeah, it makes sense because they're not stealthy assassin, quick kills. They're gonna brute force fucking use this thing, and the fact that he goes right—that was the coolest part. The fact that he goes right to that guy's helmet, and then the blade
Yeah.
just kind of slips back, and I was like, oh, dude, dope.
I thought that was actually something I do want to. I thought that was to end on this. I thought that was pretty cool. That yeah, he's just fighting this dude with the fucking armor who's just taking all these hits, and I'm like, yeah, how the fuck do you fight these motherfuckers that are all just like brick shit house and all this chainmail?
Dude, he was like the mountain, dude. He was just walking around. I was just like, yeah, what are you doing? Well, if the sword to the knee is not taking him down, then yeah, I guess all it takes is the old blade in the eye technique.
No, that was pretty cool though. So
Alrighty, guys. So that is the end of that. Let's move into ripping it up. I've only got one. Andrew, you've got two or one.
no, I've got one.
Okay. Well,
I'll go first.
You tee these things off. So go ahead and.
Geoff Keighley announced the Summer Games Festival, and what that is going to be, of course, an all-digital event. I don't know if it's supposed to make up for E3. He also says that they don't know if it's going to go back to business as usual for 2021. There's just something that they're trying out and doing for this year, that it's going to run from May through August, so about 4 months. It's going to have just a bunch of gaming news, different events, just all kinds of stuff that they're going to reveal. And I don't know. He also says that, I mean, he doesn't exactly know. He doesn't have it down to a fine science yet, but what he does have listed out is a phase one. And in phase one, he had a list of people that are actually going to be a part of this event. And so just to name off a few, you're going to have Activision, Square Enix, Sony, of course, Bungie, Bethesda, Bandai Namco, Xbox, of course, is going to be there, and then Warner Brothers. So just huge names. If anything, I can definitely see Warner Brothers, probably the next Arkham game, whatever that may be, being revealed at one of these events. So either way, I think it's definitely going to be something pretty cool. And this isn't partnered, not to be confused with the single events that I think like GameSpot's doing their own event. I think IGN's doing their own game event. So everyone's kind of doing their own little thing to get to make up for the lack of E3 this year. So this is its own thing that's not with anybody else. So either way, I thought that was pretty cool. Geoff Keighley coming to save the day, the hero we don't deserve, but the one that we need.
Yeah. It was really cool reading that article. He's got a lot planned, and it kind of seems like the Wild West. He's like, we don't really know how or when or how it's going to end, but it's coming. And 4 months is just kind of cool to see that we're getting, again, why were we never doing this before? These are all just digital events. Why are we not showcasing them year round instead of just waiting for one day or 1 week in summer to kind of show off all these games? I like the concept of doing, a form. And he was even saying, he's like, there's going to be some days that are dead and nothing's going on, and the other days where big news is going to happen. But the key thing is that when a company tells you something that's going on, we're going to highlight it. That's going to be the day's news. Everyone's going to get their turn in the spotlight. So he's got a beautiful idea, because again, I'm past these things of just doing a week-long event and blah blah blah. Like 4 months of summer, game goodness is, who else but Keighley is gonna take us out of these dark times with awesome game news. So
yeah, I do like the idea of everyone getting their own time. So it's not. I mean, I do like E3 because you get so much news at once,
right?
And
but that's all we had,
for it. But at the same time, I do realize you have all these people fighting and lots of people getting lost in the kerfluffle. Like, oh, okay, this huge game's getting announced, so all the news stories are about that game. So mine's kind of flying under the radar.
Yeah, some people in E3 get, a 45-minute showcase. Other people get 10 minutes, and that's the end of their game. Where, we get a 4-month expansion. You can get you might be able to steal a month, with some good news, and then guess what? You have next month and the next month and the next month to showcase these other great games that are coming out, and they're not going to get lost. So I kudos to them. I'm glad IGN's still doing their thing. I'm glad Gamescom's still going to be doing their thing. We get peppered with other little events, but the fact that he's taking the bull by the horns and going, hey guys, we got 4 months to show stuff, and we're kind of figuring it out as we go. So there's nothing set in stone here. He's always been. That's kind of what's pulling them away from like E3s. Like, we need to do something more than what this is. And here's going to be our first attempt. So we're going to be watching it for the first time as he's developing it for the first time.
Yeah, so I mean, either way, I think if anyone could do it, it's definitely him. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this is, and who knows, maybe it'll be a future thing, but it could just be a one and done. So
yeah, and I think that's what he was saying too. He's like, if this is a one and done in 2021, we go back to business as normal, then I'm in it. So sounds good to me. Anything else you want to put on that?
No, your turn.
So the only thing I wanted to bring up was that Nintendo was saying that they may not have their big Nintendo Direct in June. Now they've been running that for the last 13 years, side by side E3. That's what they've usually done to showcase what they've got going on. They were looking forward to doing this, well, as we all were looking forward to watching it. It was going to be the 35th anniversary of Mario, where they were hinting that they're going to start doing these 3D releases of old Mario games, natively on the Nintendo Switch. And they were going to show the rest of their first-party games for the rest of the 2020 calendar season. Now, I think they released this statement on their mini direct that they did, saying, due to COVID-19, release dates and other information are subject to change. So unfortunately, it looks like this may get pushed back, which sucks, if it doesn't line up with the 35th anniversary. But one of the things I was reading, you got to keep in mind, is like Japan isn't, I don't think, as well set, and anyone can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think they're as well set up as we are or Europe is to change, within a handful of months to start working from home. I don't think Japanese culture is kind of set up to do that. So one of the big things they were saying is that, they're having a harder time for all these guys to start working from home and putting on these things, and that's why things are getting pushed back and a little more than probably what they should be. It would be a bummer, but I mean, again, we'll get it eventually. There's no reason why we shouldn't. And what is July or August, getting that information when E3 is not even what E3 used to be. So I'm not terribly mad at it, but it probably sucks for them that they wanted to, showcase what they had for the rest of the year. And now it's going to be a month to 2 months or 3 months delay.
Yeah, I don't know if their time frame is going to matter, because for anyone who hasn't watched E3 in a while or kind of isn't in the know, Nintendo doesn't normally do like a presentation. They do their own thing. I think they call it like Nintendo Treehouse is what it is. And they have like just like a ground floor. They do the Nintendo Direct where they shop whatever. But usually they have like their own section that you can go to, and they'll have like Donkey Kong's Jungle or like just weird shit like that or whatever that you can do and play. But they don't have like a big stage event like Sony, Microsoft, Bethesda, anybody else like that. So they stopped doing that, I think, like 4 years ago, maybe 5.
Yeah, something like that. Do you like the idea though of Mario games like actually coming to the Switch as redone games?
Oh, I would love to play like Mario Sunshine or Mario 64 or something like that along those lines. I'd be all about that life.
Nice. I like that. So that's all I had to say on that. Because again, we love when Nintendo Directs come out. It gives us something to talk about for the week. And so the fact that their big one, they're one that coincided with E3 may or may not get pushed. And again, it may not. This could still happen. But as of right now, it looks like that got pushed back. So bummer for them, bummer for us. But, you got Jeff Keighley doing 4 months of gaming news. I'm sure we're going to have something to fill that void. So that is the last and only riff I had for today. So let's get into a video game question of the week. So this comes from Dylon8, and he writes,
one of the 5 greatest rappers of all time.
That sounds like it. What do you think about the increase in streamers with a lot of people having more time to game? Do you think the peak is to stay or work its way back to normal after this cools down? Andrew, what do you think?
I think it'll work its way. So I got two. So I think it's going to work its way back down after all this is done and people actually have to go back to work and don't have time. There's going to be a lot of new faces, and a lot of people can thank COVID as that time for when they got to stay home, that maybe that's when they blew up, and then that's what really opened the door for them. But it's going to go back down. But I think we're going to see another peak and a resurgence more so than this one is when the new consoles come out, because it's been rumored that both consoles have like a direct share button and ways to stream and stuff like that that are going to be better. So I think that's really where you're going to see like it spike back up too, because now that you don't have to be home all the time, don't have to set up, it's a lot easier. It's built into your console. I can come home from work after 5 and just start streaming for our channel right away and start doing whatever, and it's not a big deal. I don't have to go through all this fucking setup and all this headache of whatever. Whereas now that you have the time, I can set up whatever. I don't have to work for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, whatever it be. I don't have to touch that setup. It's now just perfect the way it is until I do have to go back. So
yeah, I think you're right on both aspects. There's no reason why it would stay currently, because once people start going back to work, by definition would have to dip, because the people that are staying home playing all day won't be home playing all day. But the fact that Xbox and PlayStation are seeing people want that built in, a functionality. People have, like you're saying, it's a headache to set up all these your computer, to set up your capture card, to set up all these things and put it on there, a microphone or a camera. If you're they see where we want to go, and if consoles are going to start having that built in, then again, by definition, more people are going to use it, even if they just want to play around with it. It's going to happen. So I think the streaming is going to dip, but I don't think it'll dip back to the lower numbers that we had, because yeah, people are making an income overnight if they're popular on things like Twitch and Mixer. So it'll dip when this is over, but I think that the new low is going to be somewhere between what it is now and what we're having before. Because are you going to start? I mean, I got to use an example. Are you going to start if your Xbox or PS5 is naturally going to start letting you stream without having to fuck around with too many other things? Are you just going to be doing that more often?
yeah. If it was a lot easier for me to do, and like,
I mean, why wouldn't you, right? I mean, I think everybody, and especially every day that goes by, it's younger gamers. Everybody wants to be online doing it. So, I mean, it's an interesting question, because you would think the answer would go back down after COVID, but I think people are having a blast, and I think that number might rise, and it's kind of hard to say if it'll ever get past that peak again when everyone's staying at home doing it. But
right.
I can't imagine. But if everyone has that ability anyway, I think probably what you would just see is the time frame would shift. Instead of people being on all day from 9 to 8, it'll be when people get home from work from 6 to 10. I'm curious what you think, though. I'm curious what our writer writes in and assumes what's going to happen, because yeah, it is right now everything's a gamble. We nobody can say for sure what not going to happen. So
yeah, and I mean, I've kind of dabbled in it, and I had a few people watch the stream, so I'm not one of those people who's doing it every single day, like and there's some people who are the backbone of this country that are streaming with 0 followers and 0 viewers, but they just like to do it just to do it. I mean, I personally would. So I mean, my heart goes out to you guys, but that it's that's part of what it could be right now, is I could be streaming to 0 people and just having fun doing my own little thing.
Yeah, I'm really curious of what when these things come out and they do have the captures and all that stuff. I'm just curious what the quality is going to look like, because when you start looking at these big timers, most of them are sitting behind or in front of the green screen with the good mic and some good, good things processing everything. The casual guy that's doing it on his PS5 with his built-in capture, I wonder if that's even going to be worth watching to the dedicated and the people that watch Twitch religiously. Is that going to look as good as their favorite follower? Because if it doesn't, then that right there would turn anyone off that wants to watch it because they like watching the show versus maybe just hearing someone talk when they play the game.
Right.
So, I don't know. Interesting question. And I think that's our only question for today. So let's move into the video game contest giveaway.
We're giving stuff away?
We're giving 2 things away to 2 different people. So guys, make sure right now you like this video and that you are subscribed, because Andrew and I are giving away 2 games to 2 different winners. 2! And it's going to be the game of your choice. So what you would need to do is in the comment section, jump down and put #QuarantineGamer. And then on episode 50, we're on episode 45 right now, we're going to announce 2 different winners who are going to win, and then you get to pick a game of your choice. And are we sticking with a game that came out this year?
Yeah, this year. I don't want to owe you something that's not coming out till 2 years in advance. I'll give you, if the game is supposed to come out this year and it gets delayed, I'll give you that. But if they announce something tomorrow and it doesn't come out until next year, then you're shit out of luck. And also just base game too, no collector's editions or digital fucking Emperor Deluxe or anything like that.
Standard $60 version of the game, or less if that's what the standard version. If it's something on the Switch that you want that's not $60, let us know, because we're giving away 2. So make sure you have your friends jump in, your relatives, your spouses, because the more entries you can get for yourself under whatever, the more chances you get to win. And you only get one entry per video. So if you're watching this one, go back to episode 44. You can still enter. You can enter on 45 all the way up to 49. And then come 50, we will announce who actually won. And then we'll get a hold of you and get you your game if it's already out or when it does come out.
I won't say that it won't help your chances, but create a Gmail for your dog and subscribe. Make sure the picture is of your dog because it'll grab my eye when I'm scrolling through.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe because we got that YouTube studio now, so we see every time somebody clicks on. So don't try to cheat us because we're not trying to cheat you.
Oh yeah. No, I think we did that in the last one. I don't think we told anyone about it, but we can see if you are or not, and if you are not, we'll just take your name right out.
Yeah, gone, baby. So that is all I have for this, Andrew. Is there anything else you want to add to the kids at home?
Yeah, I don't want to go to work tomorrow.
Oh, you poor bastard. So my name is Craig Perales, and that is Mandrew Montemayor. And until next time, guys, cheers. A certain color, some of them will be blank. So the concept is you get 3 cards when you start, and they're like missions. It'll be like get from LA to Miami, or get from blah blah blah, wherever to wherever. So, and they're worth different points. So like the shorter, the shorter ones are worth 8, the longer ones are worth 20. So you draw these color cards. So like if it takes a blue one to get from this place to this place, you need to have blue cards to cash in and lay your train tokens down. And then you just kind of build your road, your train tracks all the way around this thing, and then collect points. And I mean, it's a fun game. We could definitely make it into a drinking game, and I'd like to show it to you. It's not incredibly hard to learn, and I had fun playing it. So,
what do you want to tell me about a power hour too? You said you were going to tell me.
I can't tell you until we're in the same room. I can't give you an unfair advantage.
Why, is there a new one?
There's something out there, and I can't have you watching it. See, but now you're going to start snooping.
Oh, no, just tell me what it is, and I swear on everything I won't watch it. I just it'll satiate my appetite. I'm one of those people
in the room?
No.
Because I want to witness that. It's a new video game music power hour, not like the 2 we've done before. And I only watched up to I think number 20 or something like that. But I was watching it with Dante and Deandra, and I was like, I want to watch it with Andrew, and I want to see how good he does on it. Because I did pretty good. There's a couple that I nailed. I was like, oh, nice. Andrew would be proud of that. But other ones I was like, eh. But I'm like, I wonder if he'd get them. So I wouldn't mind doing a live recording of us doing it and see how many you can get.
Yeah, I swear to you, I won't watch
live. We can have live people, chime in. I think Andrew gets, 40 out of 60 or 10 out of 60 or something like that.
Yeah, no, I swear I won't watch it.
You better not.
And lately, too, and it's funny too, because I was thinking about it the other day, because I'm like, I've been putting on the Game Chops, the lo-fi music remix, and I'm just working. I'm just like, oh, that kind of sounds like Zelda, and then it'll kick in because of course it's completely changed the music, but some of the rhythm's still there. I'm like, oh no, that's got to be Zelda, and I'll go find myself looking, and I find myself still writing down I'm like, oh, I really like this one. It's like Mega Man, Bubble Man 2 or something like that, or whatever like that. So
make that playlist, baby. You gotta make me that playlist so I can keep it and just have it running in the background.
Put on that lo-fi Game Chops. It's the work. It's the work, or it's the study hours. What it's called, and it's all just video game music, and then it's just got that lo-fi remix, and so it's just nice tempo. I've been putting it on every day in the fucking office, and I'm just working away while I'm listening.
How was the office?
It's all right. I got a cubicle. I got my own spot. This week,
have you put up pictures of us yet from the Game Awards? And I'm gonna get you a printout. I'm going to give you a printout and a frame, and I want it on your desk.
I'll put that on my desk.